So while we get the PowerPoint set up, I'm just going to introduce myself. I'm Sherif Nathoo. I've been in real estate sales and property management for about 15 years now. And the number one question people love to ask me is, why do you want to deal with tenants? Like, what compels you to actually work with tenants? And the truth is that 10 years ago, I was in Dubai and I was selling pre-construction condos, and the only way I could make 16 sales in one shot is if I opened up a property management company. So I did that. I opened a property management company, going back to the hotel room and saying, I own this company and let's buy these 16 properties. So that's how I got into the property management business. The truth is that none of those 16 people came to me for property management. And my first experience was one family that said to me, we'll give you our 5 properties, but you have to handle our first eviction. So 26 years old, with a bunch of sheriffs and a dog trying to evict somebody, ready to bang the door down, open it up, and nobody's inside. So great learning experience. My objective today, if you can switch the slide, is to talk to you more about investment property considerations, choosing a good tenant, and your obligations as a landlord and your responsibilities, and then how to manage your property. Before you buy a property, first find out location. Where do you want to buy? Speak to a realtor. Understand the costs, the objectives, and determine your long-term goal. Tenants almost have zero responsibility. We like them to keep the property clean, right? Inform the landlord of any repairs, and you'll get tenants that report every single repair, from my appliance is not working, my floors are squeaking, my windows is leaking air. And we ideally want your tenants, and when we pick our tenants, we want to make sure that we find good tenants. We ideally want them to handle the small repairs. And the small repairs meaning change your own light bulb. All your money as an investor, as a landlord, is in how you screen your tenants. A lot of landlords I find are in such a rush to get their properties rented out because they don't want vacancy. And what happens is a couple of things, especially if you're in a brand new condominium building, is you're renting your property for really cheap, and to increase that rental rate year over year, and after the new Fairness Act, you can only increase by the rental guidelines of 1.8% this year. In the past, you were able to bring it to market value. The only way you can bring it to market value is the tenant is leaving. But a lot of people rush to get a tenant in to start paying the rent. I caution you on that, because there's a lot of professional tenants out there, and there's a lot of professional agents out there, and there's a lot of scam artists out there. Potential reasons to evict a tenant. So these are the reasons that you'd see why you're evicting tenants. Non-payment of rent, persistent late payments, illegal activities, interfering with others or overcrowding, and undue damage. What are your duties as a landlord? So as a landlord, you must provide a safe place. Has to be in accordance to all the fire regulations, so smoke alarms. In houses, you have to have a smoke and carbon monoxide detector on every single floor. Condos, you don't need a carbon monoxide detector, but you need a smoke detector. Heating must be working, all wiring, plumbing work must be good. The structure of the building must be maintained. Your fridge and stove must work, not your dishwasher, not your washer and dryer, right? So fridge and stove must work at all times. Common areas must be clean. The Rental Fairness Act was introduced by the Liberal government that actually had the market change as well for real estate in terms of sales as well. So these are the new laws that were implemented. There's a bunch of other things. If you want to move back into your property, so a lot of clients say to me, well, let's just tell the tenants we're moving back into the property, they leave in 2 months, we rent the property. You can't do that. Big no-no. If you do that, you're looking for trouble, because you have to actually file an N12, go to the tribunal, show up, and you have to prove that you're actually going to move in there. So how you prove that is by actually showing up. If you do not move into that property, the tenant has a right to do an inspection on you, or they'll find out if you have moved in or not. They can come back to you and you get fined up to $25,000. The new law says if you tell a tenant that you're moving back into the property, you have to give them the equivalent of 1 month's rent or fine them a property. Now, because we work very closely with our landlords and our owners, they don't want to hire paralegals, so I'm happy to represent them, or happy to help them represent themselves in the tribunal process. Thank you.